Hello, everyone. Hello, it's Tracy at TRCast, and today is a very exciting day. So, if you follow TRCast at all, you know that we do a live tutorial on Tuesday mornings, typically. Weekly. We try to shoot for weekly. Sometimes we miss a week here and there. But so that's our normal schedule. But today is a special day. We don't have a jewelry demonstration on the agenda today. What we have is a product launch. So we're pretty excited because product launches, it's a big deal. It's months worth of work when we start designing and creating a group of parts, trying to give it a theme and trying to give it make it a nice group of parts that will work well together. And often we want it to also work well with the other parts that we offer. So hello, I see a lot of people popping in. So good morning to everybody. And I think I'd better just jump right in. Let me backtrack a tiny bit. So there are a couple of previous launches that have been a big influence on this one. And that includes our recent Wild West launch and also our what we called our Finishing Touches launch. Matter of fact, while we're sitting here, I'm gonna, not that I want you guys to go away and get distracted and start looking at other things, but I do want to send you the links for the collections that I'll be talking about. So I just threw in the Spring Roundup. Well, I gave myself away. The name of this launch is Spring Roundup. Some of the previous launches that have been, that affected this one, that had an influence, is our Finishing Touches launch, which we came out with in the fall of 2019, and also our recent Wild West launch. So both of those collections, you'll see the influence, and I've just thrown all those links in there so you guys can look at those later, because we're going to talk about this right now. So our new launch we're calling it Spring Roundup. And it is a small group of finishing options. And most exciting, well, there's exciting things. What we've got is an expansion of our Crimp End products, which we designed for the Finishing Touches line to work with seed bead designs and other things that had some thickness to them. We were really wanting to find wonderful finishing options for these kinds of designs, bead weave designs, other bead stitching, and then also included in that Finishing Touches launch was what we call our stitch-in products, and those are really designed around working with seed beads because you can stitch right into the loops. So what this new line includes is a new crimp end, a larger, gorgeous crimp end, and you'll see when I change my camera view and show the work surface, you'll see that this has a very Western feel. So some of these things we were inspired while we were working on the Wild West group, which was our fall launch, winter launch. We just did that one in February, so that was just this year. And then the three new stitch-in magnetic clasps, which we are very excited about because that group has been very successful for us. So we're really excited to add to it. And then to round out, just a tiny new little toggle clasp that was inspired by the kind of the silver work influence that we were using when we designed Wild West. So flyer, I'm going to switch my camera. Oh, and I have to say that I have a special guest with us today. I'm going to bring her in. And the reason, hello, Rebecca, are you here? Hi. If you guys don't know Rebecca Combs, she has a store. Well, she used to have a brick and mortar store, no longer a brick and mortar, but she has a business called Design Adorn. And she specializes in kumihimo. So she was a big influence on a couple of these parts. So Rebecca, tell us why.
Oh, I'm so excited about these parts. We use tear cast end caps a lot, and we loved your first two-strand stitch in, the this one in the Temple collection, and we left it as a two-strand. So then I was like, hey,
I wanted Rebecca there, not me. Let me see if I can get you into the primary screen, Rebecca.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I can make it happen, but continue.
That's okay. That's okay. So anyway, starting with this piece that we love so much for doing two-strand Kumihimo designs, we're like, hey, wouldn't this be cool in a three-strand so that we could braid our braids? So I'm wearing one, and then here's one where you can actually like see the set. So the first one was the Temple, because this goes with the Temple end caps, and we just love the detail on this. But our other end cap that we use all the time is the Palace. So we wanted some multi-strand magnets that would go with our favorite end cap, the Palace. So we had the two-strand, and I know you guys just call it the hammer, because it's a hammered texture, but in my brain it's the Palace because it matches the Palace end cap.
Right. And that distressed hammered.
Yeah, just the hammered clasp goes with the Palace end caps. And so now you guys have it in the two-strand and the three-strand. And so very soon we'll be coming out with some new Kumihimo designs that feature the three-strand and the two-strand. And it's just a beautiful way to finish this.
So I have to say that the original, let me go back to I'm going to go to my workbench, but I do want Rebecca to tell us. So she was talking about our original Temple magnetic clasp, which was a 2-loop. So we didn't just come up with the 3 loops on our own. Rebecca actually, you special ordered those, right?
Yeah, we did. We special ordered those. We use them in our kits. We have them on our website, and then we've also special ordered a color that isn't included in the launch. It's the
brass. Oh yes.
Right. We use this color all the time. We're here in Tucson, so we feature a lot of stuff that's really like Southwest inspired. So this is a really great color for us. So we also got it in the 3 strands, the 2 strands, and the hammered and the Temple. So that's exciting.
Well, it's exciting for us because I don't know if we would have gone there if you hadn't said, hey guys, I really want this in a 3-loop. Can you do it? And Kirsten, our product development manager, stepped up and said, yeah, I think we can. So show us, I know that you have a couple of other designs maybe to show us. I'm going to bring your
I don't have a lot of here. Okay, there we go. There's my desk. So some of these parts we just actually got physically in our hands. So I don't have a ton of samples. So the main one is the 3 wishes where we braided. So I'm wearing one, and then this is what it looks like at the back. So we have our 3 strands of beaded ropes, and then we finish this with the 6mm Temple end caps, and then pairing it with the new Temple magnet. And we just love this, and we love all the details that you guys put into this, how it's the same front and back. So this is gorgeous. We have some new things that are going to be coming out soon with the hammered, but since I just got the hammered in my hands, I don't have one.
Now
I did a one to show you. They just literally arrived 5 days ago. So
that's the Temple 2-loop. So what you're saying is you're going to use the hammer tone 2-loop in a design like that?
It's something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And then it'll have the hammered Palace end caps.
Right. So you guys can see that up here in the corner of Rebecca's, let me highlight this table again. I love that StreamYard has all these options for how you can arrange the camera views, but it's totally a guessing game for what you're going to get when I click on one. Rebecca was talking about the Palace cord ends, and those are those little cord ends you see up in the top left of the screen. And so it's great for kumihimo braid, right? Because they're a nice big cord end. So that's why she wanted those long 3-loop magnetic clasps that we created for her.
Yes, absolutely. And when we were working with Kirsten, we were specifically thinking about these end caps and the sizing. So this fits really nicely with 3 6mm end caps, nicely there in a row. So you can put that on a braid that's made with size 11 seed beads, or what we did, we used size 8 for the main seed bead, and then down here at the end, hidden underneath the end cap, are some size 11. So we just tapered the ends so that it would fit in the 6mm end caps.
Right. And if you guys haven't noticed, Rebecca's putting some links into these projects. So Rebecca, you sell, let me switch my camera off for me here just for a second so that we can continue talking. Your store specializes in kumihimo kits, right? And you also teach classes online?
So we sell kumihimo kits is our primary business. That's what we've been focused on like 99% of the time for the last 2 years. We do sell special kumihimo findings on our website as well. So we stock these TR cast finding sets, and we have them as complete sets where you get the magnet, the jump rings, the clasps, so they're ready to go. So you don't have to get little of this, little of that. So we have those in like grab and go little sets. Yeah, and then the main thing we do is we do kumihimo kits. So every week we do a different featured project that people can place orders starting Friday night, and then we close that on Tuesday and we start making up the kits. It's lots of fun. It's a great way to get a project that has everything ready to go in your bag.
And then do you do live tutorials for all of the kits? No, maybe sometimes though?
Not usually.
No, not usually. Okay, so but occasionally I know that you pop up live sometimes, so you'll just
we do a lot of live videos. We have a lot of like skills building on the kumihimo essentials, how to read your counted pattern, how to use a bead spinner, how to open and close jump rings.
Right.
Then, yeah.
So people will just have to watch your schedules for that. So I'm going to, Rebecca, stay with me because I'm going to go through the new products, and you may have interesting comments or things to say. I'm going to switch my camera back and see if I can't navigate back to where we're looking at my desk view, and then highlight that. See how it goes here. All right, so. Rebecca was kind of talking mostly about the magnetic clasps. So I can put these out kind of in my hand and bring them up to the camera. But what happens is that they magnetize and jump around and stick together. So I think I'm going to keep them down on my mat because I have little tiny thin pieces of metal under there, so they'll stay put. So Rebecca was really talking about the magnetic clasps that she has loved and requested new sizes for her kumihimo work. So we have the new Temple 3-loop. You may have caught a glimpse of her the design that had the Temple 2-loop that she was showing a minute ago. This is the same design. We just expanded the length and added another loop. And what's wonderful about these products, all of our Stitch In products, I'm going to throw a little something down. Whoops, lost a light. I'm going to throw a little something down while I'm trying to highlight this so that it might focus a little better. So all of our Stitch In products have loops that are intended to work side by side with specifically size 8 seed beads, but that does not limit what you can use them with. It's just size 8 was a nice, good workable size when we're designing the loops, it was a good workable size. But these kind of stitching components, which if you guys want to know more about that, I'm going to go ahead and throw a link to a blog. Let's see if I can find that. We did a blog post. Hopefully this link will work, guys. But if it doesn't, just please go to our blog and you can find it there. We have a whole blog that talks about our stitch-in products and how you use them and what we've tested them with, and all kinds of great info about these products. So when we were doing the Wild West collection, we really wanted to expand on that, and we wanted to take advantage of the development process that we went through to do Rebecca's special orders. She wanted the temple loop and the 3 loop, or the temple one and the 3 loop, and she wanted this little hammer tone, which we had done as a prototype with finishing touches, but we hadn't done it hadn't launched it. So she said, I want it. And so we did that, and it's a 2 loop. And then we also thought, well, as long as we're doing 3 loops, we should do the temple or the hammer tone in a 3 loop as well. This one's not put together right. So you can see that they're just awesome finishing components. The magnets are very strong, so they're really secure. And we've got the new ones, the hammer tone ones, in the white bronze finish and the copper and the bright gold. And then the temple 3 loops are coming in silver, copper, and gold. And initially, I'm trying to remember, Rebecca, do you remember if we did the original temple in a brass?
I don't think so.
I turned away to look at my sample drawers to see, and you're right, I'm not sure either. But did you order that one in a brass or just the hammer tone in a brass?
I know we have the 3-strand temple in a brass. I'll have to check on the 2-strand.
Okay. And so you guys know, it's, Rebecca has been a customer of ours for a very long time. And when you special order a finish, it's a big investment. We have to do a large quantity. So it's not like you're going to just find these out there. When people special order something, it's something they kind of have to commit to, because it requires a large quantity of parts. All right, so we've talked about the new stitch-in magnetic clasps. We are so excited to add those to the group. We really are. So one of the other things that, and Rebecca, I don't recall you saying that you've used the crimp ends very much, have you?
No, we haven't yet, but I was really excited to see that one in this launch. I love the detail on it.
Okay, I'm throwing a link in the blog. Link in the comments that goes to a blog about these two. So I'm just going to go pick up all of these and do that. So the crimp ends were, again, a finishing touches development. We wanted to develop something, a part that you could like slide over beadwork or other kind of thick materials, and that then you would either use adhesive or crimp them down into place. And that would give people a nice finishing option for like I said, beadwork projects. We've used them on leather. We've used them on anything that lends itself to just having a kind of a thickness to it. And then to close these, you either crimp them with pliers, or you'll do that anyway, because you'll want to adjust the opening to fit whatever it is that you're working with. So you'll want to adjust it a little bit to fit. And then depending on what you're doing, you're either going to just secure this with glue, or you're going to glue it and then maybe crimp it a little bit as well. So the newest, we did the original ones in the finishing touches, and we added to that in Wild West. We did kind of a smaller than this, kind of a concho style, which came out really pretty. And then this one we had in mind, but weren't quite ready to push it into the Wild West launch. But Kirsten was working with kind of Western themes and Western influence. So she liked the idea of this scroll work. So the one side of this, and we're calling this one the scroll work crimp end. So one side of it has the wonderful detailed scroll work, and then the other side, because we didn't want it getting too thick and heavy, the other side she just did the incised version of the pattern. So it came out pretty cool. Kind of love the way that that worked out. So that does give it kind of a reversible thing. You can use it with either side facing out on your design. So that's the newest addition to our crimp ends, and we're excited. Rebecca, I know that these might be not an automatic choice for working with Kumihimo, but it would be interesting to see if you.
Alex and I were talking about some ideas. I think we have something that's kicking around in our sketchbook.
Cool. We'd like to see that when you do end up, if it turns into a kit or anything, be sure and tag us when you post about it so that we can share it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So our last little thing is, again, going to put these on a different tray. It's just this wonderful little toggle clasp. It's got it's got that tiny little concho detail that came from my phone's not focusing very well today. It's got that tiny little concho detail that we used in the Wild West launch. And then the rest of it is just this lovely little kind of scroll work etching that's done on it. I'm not sure if etching is the right word. It's slightly florally, slightly leafy. It's really beautiful. And it's a small toggle because our best-selling toggle is the same size. And we wanted to give people, it's really our most popular. It's called our bar and ring. And we wanted to give people another option, kind of a delicate, and it's got that Western flavor, but it's still kind of neutral enough to use with other design themes. And we wanted to go with that size because the original, the other toggle we have in that size is really our best seller. So we figured that must be a size people like. So that is the new toggle clasp. And we're just calling it Western, the Western toggle. So this is a very small group. This is it. So we've got the new stitch in magnetic clasps. We've got the new crimp end, and we've got that sweet little toggle clasp. So I would love to move on to showing you guys some designs that we created to. We always make the designs to use in the promotional materials and also then to use as inspiration projects for you guys. So again, because it's not very many parts, it's not as many designs as we might usually be showing, but that's okay. It's enough to show how they can be used. There's a necklace here, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get that on the tray, so I might have to put that one separately. Joan Dice is saying, she thinks that the crimp ends would be very cool with flat kumihimo. So there's your challenge there, Rebecca, to maybe work in some flat kumihimo. And then Lynn is a macrame artist, and she is saying that she might have some macrame bracelet ideas. So awesome. If there's any questions, you guys, be sure and throw them in there. But if I don't catch them while we're live, I will go back through when we're done, and I will and I'll respond to any questions you guys may have. So let me start with this one. This one was, I've laid all these out and now I just want to move them so that we can try and get some focus. So this is the crimp end. On both of these, I chose to put the scroll work side to the front, and the leather is an upcycled belt that I colored with some acrylic paints. And I think I used Gilder's paste on this one and an acrylic paint on this one. I played with some different things. So I loved the idea of upcycling an old belt that I had sitting around. So it's about 2 millimeters thick, which worked really nicely with the crimp end. It looks like I didn't get that one on quite straight, but that's okay. So this was very fun. It was a great way to upcycle the belt. And Kimberly is asking if these designs will be upcoming tutorials. They sure will, Kimberly, because I always draw the inspiration projects from the launch designs. So maybe this is the first one we'll do just because it's, it's a messy one. We have some fun. So with the silver version, I paired it with that little beautiful little toggle. And with this one, I wanted to pull in, because remember that we're still running with that Western influence. So I paired this one with that longhorn button. And I think it was a real nice, and then I just fabricated a little leather loop for the button. So that was fun. All of these designs are already available to look at on the website. No downloadable project sheets just yet. I'll get those loaded up sometime this week, but all of the information there, the part lists are there, and you can take a look at those. Let me go ahead, and you guys got to know by now how to find the inspiration section of the website, but there you go. I'll throw a link in there anyway. So this little pair of earrings is available in the inspiration section, and it's also the new kit that's available with this launch. And it does use the little toggle. We only used the ring in the design. So whoever decides to make these, then you'll have a couple of toggle bars that you'll want to set aside to use in another project. And it's done with the flat suede lace, which is a fairly thin suede lace. It's not your garden variety kind of thick stuff. It's the thinner stuff. It's called flat suede lace, which fit inside a large hole gemstone bead and a large hole nugget. So that was a fun and super easy design. So you guys might like to play with that idea. And then we used that. Okay, here you go, Rebecca. This might influence how you could adapt one of these to a kumihimo type of design. This is a netted beaded rope. And originally I was going to finish it with, we were working on a new cord end to go with this group, and that it didn't come together. So I thought, okay, how can I adapt this to the 2-loop magnetic? So I did. And I did write instructions for it, so you guys can do it too. You'll have to look at the inspiration page to kind of see how I did that. But this was a really fun project. Hey, Rebecca, you use all kinds of different beads with the kumihimo, right? Do you work gems in sometimes?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this one is just size 11 round seed beads and little 3 millimeter gemstones. And netting is a super easy stitch. So that was fun. Loved that one. And as long as we're still on the magnetics, I'm going to bring out this one. If I can get it disentangled. So this bracelet is a design that was inspired by, I'm going to put another link here. There is a designer named Kara who has a store called karasbeads.com, and she's a seed bead artist and she sells patterns. And I saw her post this, she calls this design the Victorian Gate. Excuse me. She posted it a few weeks ago. And it was when I was still, well, actually, it's been a couple of months because it was still when I was pondering designs that I could use with this the 3-loop temple. And I saw this and I went, I think I could adapt that. So this is Kara's design. I just posted a link, or at least the URL for her website. She has a live video that demos this project. And I had her create a peyote pattern for me for the colorway that I used in this design. So that stuff is all available on the inspiration page for this design. So this one was a labor of love. I do a lot of seed bead work, but I'm certainly not speedy at it. But I really wanted to see if I could adapt this and make it work with that temple. And I absolutely love how it came out. So that one's there. It's on the website. And then the last design that I did for this group I was just inspired by the idea of a station necklace. I wanted to use a lot of gemstones. I wanted it to be 3 strands so I could again use it with the 3-loop magnetic clasp. In this case, I used the hammer tone one. And so that's how this one came out. It's just 3 strands of stations of various gemstones and spacer beads and smaller beads. And then I've kept that Western theme, kind of that Western influence, by pairing it with the Longhorn charm. So those are the designs that we did for this particular group. I do have to say, Carrie, I am not going to demo this one live. But there is a link to Kara's video where she demos this on the inspiration page. So, but the rest of these I will attempt to do inspiration projects. And I'm hoping Rebecca, if she comes up with some interesting stuff, if she uses any of these other parts, that she will let us know about that too.
Oh, you know I will.
Yeah. So that's all I got. I'm going to switch my camera back and I'm going to bring Rebecca back in so we can say goodbye. And my challenge now, Rebecca, will be, let me move this one. My challenge now, Rebecca, will be deciding which of these I'll be demoing in what order. So that'll be fun. That's a fun challenge, though.
Yeah, I really want to see how you did the coloring technique on your upcycled belt. That looks really fun.
That's a fun one. And so, I'll post that one and people will have to run out and to the thrift stores and whatnot. If they want to play along, they'll have to run out and find themselves an old belt with tooling. The important thing is that it has to have a tooling pattern on it. Doesn't matter what the pattern is, but it has to have some tooling for the paint to go into. So thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for joining us to tell us how the new magnet clasps came about, because they might not have if it hadn't been for you. If you hadn't said, hey, what about this and what about that? They just might not have happened. So we're grateful. And as of course, you're one of our best and longtime customers, so we're grateful for that too. And thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for making such wonderful parts. This has been a fantastic collaboration.
Yeah, and we'll do it again if something comes up where you've worked with you've had another brilliant idea and we've had to create a new part for you or something. So hopefully we'll be able.
Ideas. I'm gonna have to email Kirsten.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll be able to do it again sometime. Yeah. So thanks, Rebecca, and I'll let you go and then I'll wrap it up, and we will see you, Rebecca, again soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, so that's it for the spring roundup product launching today. We actually haven't even sent the email out to our wholesale customers yet. That's going out. As soon as I'm done with you guys here, I'm going to be working on that and getting that out to our wholesale customers. And then you guys will have to start looking up. Lynn's saying her husband's going to have a missing belt. go, Lynn. He probably won't even miss it. So I'll be posting soon, guys. Let you know what that first spring roundup inspired demo will be. Hopefully we'll post that on Saturday so you guys can prepare for it. If it's going to be the belt, you'll have to go find yourself a belt. Thank you so much for joining me to hear about the newest group of products. If you want a little more detail about them, you can go to the, did I put the blog? Abby's saying, oh, phew, LOL, but I'm not sure why. My attention span is short, so I'm not sure what she's responding to. And I'm talking about Abby Burda. If you guys don't know who Abby is, she does have a lovely brick and mortar store in Illinois called The Bead Place. So she's also a very good customer of ours. Oh, Abby's like, she's going, oh, phew, LOL. She's thinking she didn't get the email. It's coming, Abby. I just haven't quite got it out yet this morning. I am going to put one more link into the comments. We did do a blog for the spring roundup, so there's links in there and maybe a little bit more information about the parts. So, no, that's not the one I wanted. It's given me the wrong link. Try again. So yeah, take a look at that, and there we go. And I will figure out what my first demo is going to be, and I'll post that, and I will see you guys next week, same time. And thank you so much for joining me for our exciting announcement. And be well and make wonderful things this week. Hope you guys are all doing good, and I'll see you next week. Bye.